A beautiful way to begin today's farewell. Before we begin, could I remind you, if you haven't already done so, to switch off your phones or pop them onto silent. That would be much appreciated. Well, good morning everyone, and welcome as we gather in loving memory of Serena. And a warm welcome to those joining us via live stream. We do hope you feel a special part of today's farewell. With the spirit of love and friendship that each of you bring here this morning, this service will be made even more special. And I know that Paul, Christopher, Ellen, Joseph and their families are so grateful for the love and the support that surrounds them. It really does mean the world to them that you've taken the time to be here, so thank you. My name is Gina Breakey, and it really is an honour to have been invited to lead today's service for Serena. It is my hope that this morning will be a meaningful tribute to a beautiful lady and reflect on the many qualities that made Serena so loved. Well, as I look out, I see a lot of blue in the room. Thank you for wearing a touch of blue to honour Serena today. She turned 60 in September just this year, and there was a party planned, and the theme was a touch of blue. Sadly, she was too ill for the party to go ahead. It was important to Paul and his family that this morning we not only gather to mourn her passing, but also acknowledge and celebrate her 60th birthday, and most importantly, reflect and celebrate everything we knew and loved about her. We gather together to honour the life and memory of Serena Emary, a loving wife, mother and mother-in-law, a cherished and loved daughter, sister and friend. Today, memories will be shared and you will all share in a deep sadness that Serena is no longer a physical presence in our lives. However, by spending this time together, we are reminded of a life lived with value and purpose, and we will reflect on the impact her life has made. There's no question that everyone here this morning, everyone who knew and loved Serena, is carrying a heavy heart. At just 60 years of age, her passing came before her family and everyone here were ready to say goodbye. And no words we share this morning will make it easier to accept that she is gone. All we can do is be whatever comfort we can be to Paul and his family and surround them with words of kindness and respect. Whether we let ourselves smile, and no matter how many tears fall today, this morning will be a chance to remember a beautiful lady and express through words the love and respect that Serena so richly deserves. Well, I think everyone here would know that family really did mean everything to Serena. She was the loved and adored wife of Paul, a supportive and loved mother and mother-in-law and friend of Christopher and Helen, of Alan and Karis, and Joseph and Nicola, and of course Lexi, their beloved greyhound, who is front and centre at the front here today. Along with Serena's extended family, including her beautiful mum Lorraine and Ian, her brother Timothy, and many friends here this morning, you are all an important part of her life, and I'm sure if she could, she would thank you all for the love and the friendships that have been shared. As you take this time to remember Serena in your own special way, may it be a warm reminder of how much she has meant to so many. Well, each of you here carries a story, a memory, a piece of Serena that, when woven together, creates a tapestry of a fulfilling and happy life. Everyone here has their own memories. You have all known Serena in different ways, and I'm sure there are many things you will continue to remember. After meeting with her very proud family recently, I learned that Serena was a caring, compassionate and kind woman. She was thoughtful and considerate. She had a genuine love of life and a fabulous sense of humour. You never quite knew what you were going to get when it came to her humour. Welcoming and warm, affectionate and creative, strong and determined, Serena lived her life giving to others. She had a genuine gift of being able to help, and she was remembered fondly for her selfless and generous nature. Nothing was ever too much trouble for Serena. She would do anything for anyone, and everyone that knew her genuinely loved her. So many memories were shared of a wife, mother, daughter and sister who were there for her family, No matter what was going on in her life, Serena's family were always her priority, and she knew how lucky she was to have such a close and loving bond with you all. They were her world and she was theirs. I literally could feel the love around the table during my conversation with her family, and as difficult as it will be today, it is their wish that we focus on the happy times and remember Serena for the love she brought to all of your lives. Well, born at the Women's Hospital in Carlton on the 8th of September 1964, Serena was the eldest of 3 children born to Lorraine and Timothy. She has a younger brother, Timothy, and a younger sister, Genevieve. Lorraine told me that Serena was a happy baby and she grew into a lovely toddler who gave the family a lot of joy. Serena attended Brighton Primary School and she went on to St Leonard's. Her brother Timothy has fond memories of growing up with his older sister, and some of his fondest memories are of the times they would walk to and from school and stop at the milk bar. Because Serena was a few years older than Timothy, she had the responsibility of looking after him, and they loved to visit the milk bar and spend their pocket money on lollies. On one occasion, Serena's dad told her what a good job she was doing keeping an eye on Timothy, and he gave her money for both of them to spend, to which Serena pocketed. Very cheeky as a young girl, Serena's first job was ironically then at the milk bar. As a young girl, Serena also spent a lot of time with her maternal grandmother, Olga. She would call in to see her granny on the way home from school, and they had an extremely close relationship until Olga passed. Well, after leaving school, Serena went to Swinburne and she completed a diploma in applied science and environmental health, and she got a job with the City of Melbourne as an environmental health officer. During this time, when she was around 19, Serena was out one night at her local nightclub, Josephine's in Brighton. She stood out as she was wearing a hat, which caught Paul's attention. Eventually they got talking and Paul discovered that she had a boyfriend. but she wasn't too happy with him because he'd gone rock climbing and she didn't get an invite. Paul and Serena parted ways that night, but not before Paul very cheekily got her phone number, which he subsequently wrote down underneath his office desk so he wouldn't forget it. He eventually summoned the courage to call Serena, and the rest, of course, as they say, is history. Paul and Serena lived in Paran first, and due to her severe asthma, which entailed very many hospital trips, they decided to move to Wodonga and live in a warmer climate. From Wodonga, they planned their wedding, which was at Ripponlea in 1990, and Serena got a job in the environmental department with the Wodonga Local Council. Christopher and Alan were born while they were living in Wodonga, and after 8 years of living there, they decided to move back to Melbourne to be closer to family. Joseph's arrival completed the family, and for the next 25 years, Serena and Paul made a life for their family in Mulgrave. Once the kids were all at school, Serena got a part-time job as a health inspector, but she didn't really like this job very much. Every business she visited were on edge wondering what her report might say. All the while, she really was just doing her job. She then started looking through the paper for opportunities, and one appeared by way of an RMIT scholarship in aged care. This really appealed to Serena because she was extremely compassionate and caring and very interested in doing something that would help others. She applied and she got the scholarship, and her family remember how proud she was to attend RMIT. Serena ended up working in disability, and the bonus was her job was directly across the road from where they lived. She put her heart and soul into this role. The clients all loved her, and she got much satisfaction knowing that she was making a difference in people's lives. It was around 9 years ago that Serena was diagnosed with a melanoma, and in typical fashion, she kept positive and she managed to live life to its fullest. She threw herself into keeping active and fit, and there wasn't much she didn't try. From Pilates to YouTube ballet tutorials, Zumba, aerobics, and Step Into Life. And if she didn't do any of these, she would regularly run 4 or 5 kilometres with Lexi by her side and Paul on the bike. She trained and completed a half marathon when she was 49, and for her 50th birthday, she ran around Ayers Rock. In her family's eyes, she was amazing, and there wasn't much she couldn't do if she set her mind to it. Well, once Christopher, Alan and Joseph all left home, Serena was so happy to know that they had found beautiful partners and welcomed Helen, Karis and Nicola into the family. They all agreed that Serena was so warm and welcoming, she very quickly made them feel like family, and she was like a second mum to them all. Helen, Karis and Nicola appreciated the love that she showed them, and they feel very lucky to have known her. Serena was thrilled when Christopher and Helen got engaged in 2021, and she was so happy for them both and the future they have ahead of them. Alan and Karis were married in September last year in a beautiful wedding at the Yarra Valley. Serena decided on wearing a hot pink suit for the occasion, but she thought she looked a bit like a newsreader. She had a change of heart on the day, and she ended up wearing one of Alan's dresses, and she received compliments galore because she looked so beautiful. Then Joseph and Nicola were married in September just this year in a beautiful wedding at Elizabethan Lodge in Blackburn. Serena had been in and out of hospital, and after only 8 weeks of planning, they managed to find what Joseph called a sweet spot when his mum was feeling well. She was able to enjoy their special day, and Joseph even got to share a mother-son dance. It was extremely emotional and extremely special. Serena was front and centre at all of these special family celebrations, and I know that her children and their partners will be forever grateful that she got to experience it with them all. It was October last year that Serena and Paul made the decision to move here to beautiful lakes, and it's been a roller coaster 12 months to say the least. They settled into their new home in Golf Links Road, and they quickly made some lovely friends. Serena's health had been up and down, however, she was determined to keep life as normal as possible, even finding the energy to do some volunteering at St Vincent's op shop. Her family told me that she took pride in the window displays, and even when she was sick, she rallied to make sure that she finished what she'd started. Apparently, Serena was particularly happy with her efforts on the Valentine's Day window display earlier this year. It was a little raunchy, and it was the talk of the town for weeks. Well, in August this year, Serena and her family made one last trip together to Broome, and she gave Alan the task of organising some special things for them to do. They went on camel rides, on a boat trip and a helicopter ride, which she ended up doing twice, even though she hated heights, and they had dinner on the beach. Serena had also always wanted to go glamping, which they did, and it was a very special time for them all. The memories they made there will last a lifetime. Just to lighten the mood a little, in addition, during our conversation, Paul mentioned this trip was made even more special because he and Serena flew business and the kids flew cattle class. Throughout her life, Serena had always loved to read. It was something she enjoyed as a young girl, and she would often be found with a good book to keep her company. She also loved scrapbooking, and the family has many, many albums at home to prove it, and they've brought a few along here today. They are full of little notes and photos of happy times with family and friends. Serena loved taking photos and would be the first to round the family up to take some snaps. She would meticulously place them in the albums alongside a note of where and when it was taken. These albums are now a beautiful keepsake for the family to cherish. The 60th birthday signing book, I believe, was bought today also, was going to be used for Serena's birthday, and I know her family would love it if you were able to sign the book and write a little note in it. That would be fantastic. Well, thoughtful and considerate, Serena's family remember she put so much effort into choosing a gift, and she made sure whatever she bought was special or had a purpose. The gift that will be remembered the most will be the bag she bought for her mum with a label saying, "Diabetes shit." She thought it was the perfect gift for all of her mum's medication, and it's a gift that her family still talk about and have a laugh about. Easy to talk to, Serena was a great listener, and she was always interested in what you had to say. She rarely missed answering a phone call, and it didn't matter where she was or what she was doing, you just knew she would be there to offer a listening ear. She often also added a little humour to lighten the conversation, and then she happily gave you sage advice. Serena was also extremely affectionate, always ready for a hug, and her family knew how much she loved them. At the heart of everything, it was family that really did mean everything to her. It goes without saying that Paul was the love of her life. For over 42 years, they were not only partners, but they were always said to each other that they were each other's best friend. Her kids were also her world, and not only was she their mum, but she was also their best friend. Lorraine and Timothy also share a very close bond with Serena, and she knew how lucky she was to have you all in her life. The past year has been tough, with many days and weeks spent in and out of hospital, going to appointments and having treatment, but rarely would she complain. And with Paul by her side, Serena faced what was ahead of her with a determination to be here as long as she could. After a very courageous fight, Serena passed away last Sunday, the 1st of December. As sad as it is that she is no longer with us, I hope it does bring you all some comfort knowing that her struggles are over and she is now at peace. She really did give everything she had right to the very end, and for that, I know her family are truly so proud and grateful. That's just a very quick snapshot of Serena's life. There's so much more to share about her life and so many memories. I know that her family have written their own tributes and are going to proudly come forward now and share those with us. And I'm going to ask her very proud mum, Lorraine, who's going to begin our tributes for today. Thanks, Lorraine.
Good morning, and thank you all so much for being here for Serena. I will start at the beginning. Is that right? Okay. Yeah. I will start at the beginning. When Serena was born in Carlton, her father and I were students at Melbourne University, and so, very conveniently, I could walk to my prenatal appointments at the Royal Women's Hospital just up the road. Her birth was a transformative experience, unfolding an ongoing world of wonderment and joy. She was also adored by both sets of grandparents. As well as being my precious daughter, she was also a friend like no other. We shared many things: a love of dogs, books, art, markets, and, surprise, surprise, op shops. Serena recently gave me a small plaque inscribed, quote, "If I didn't have you as a mum, I'd choose you as a friend," unquote. Serena loved beauty in all its forms. I am surrounded by items and objects she has gifted me over the years. So many of the things I use or wear, she chose for me with her discerning eye. Using them now will be painful, but also incorporate her being in some way. As a mother to Serena for 60 years, I have learned so much from Serena in a type of role reversal, and have tried to be a more open, accepting and kind human as she was. Serena knew much illness throughout her life, and spirited courage has always been her way of managing. Despite the pain, she always fought back. Her strong spirit endured until the end. She recently told me, "Mum, I fight this in every moment, and I feel it is the only fight I have in me." As my cousin Lynn said, she leaves a huge space in the firmament. Sleep tranquilly, my darling. I will always be with you. My thanks go to Paul for his constant and exceptional loving care of Serena always, to the wonderful children they raised together and the children's partners for their loving support, to the palliative care nurses and to Serena's GP, Dr. Rahn, for the care and comfort they provided. And I also must say so many thanks to my loving and wonderful partner, Ian, who has supported me throughout. Thank you.
Thank you, Lorraine. Beautiful tribute. Timothy, Serena's proud brother, who's now going to share with us a beautiful tribute that I read last night and teared up. It's really special. So, Timothy, your turn.
I'm Timothy, Serena's younger brother, and I'm going to share some memories of our childhood together and some of the few life lessons that my big sister taught. Serena was 6 years older than me, and she took the role of being a big sister with great care and responsibility. When I started at Brighton Primary in 1975, Serena was in grade 5, and she took on the job of walking me to school. And I remember walking past the homes of old ladies in the neighbourhood, and they'd see us walking together with our long 70s hair, and they'd say, "Hello, girls." And so life lesson 1 was responsibility. As Gina shared, Serena and I stopped at the milk bar on our way home or on the way to Granny's house, and we'd spend our pocket money on mixed lollies. And earlier this year, when I was visiting Serena in hospital, she shared that memory of when our dad had given her some extra money, just as a reward for being so caring. And she confessed to me that day in hospital that she had spent it all on herself. She hadn't shared it with me. And I was glad that she was able to fess up and get that off her chest. And we had a great laugh that day in hospital. That's life lesson number 2. It's never too late to own up to your mistakes. And Serena was a really fun big sister. And I remember we loved sitting in her room together, listening to music, especially her Blondie tape and my Village People record. When I was about 12, Serena got a new stereo, and she offered to sell her stereo for $20. And I didn't have $20, so Serena let me pay it off in instalments. She let me have it up front, and she negotiated a payment plan, and she kept meticulous records. And she made sure that I stuck to the payment plan. And when I reminded her of this in hospital this year, she was mortified that she made me pay for the stereo. But I tell you, it was a great stereo. And I didn't know at the time, but it was also a great lesson. Financial management. Lesson number 3, life lesson number 3, is make a plan and stick to it. And sticking with it is a skill that Serena was able to take into all and other aspects of her life too, including love. I remember Serena when she was first dating Paul. I was about 13, and I wasn't too sure about this young, tall redhead in a souped-up Tirana with very special metallic paint. So one time when Paul was coming to pick Serena up for a date at our house, I climbed over a security fence and onto the roof of a 2-storey building across the road to spy on Paul as he arrived. And of course, Paul grew on me, and we shared a love of cars, and obviously my initial suspicions were completely unfounded because they did stick with it. And Paul was the love of her life and a real constant support for Serena through some really hard times. And they raised 3 wonderful children, Christopher and Alan and Joseph. Which brings me to my final lesson, love. I loved and adored my big sister and my role model and friend. I cannot imagine seeing you, Serena, and laughing together. To paraphrase Eduardo Galeano, the Uruguayan author who wrote, "Part of me died with you, and Serena, part of me, part of you lives with me." Goodbye, my dear, wonderful sister.
Timothy, that was beautiful. Thank you so much. Very special tribute. I certainly feel the love in the room today. Helen, Serena's daughter-in-law, Chris's partner, is going to come forward and share a tribute. Thank you, Helen.
Dearest Serena, this has been one of the hardest things I've ever had to write. How do I begin to summarise the last 14 years I've shared with you? In that short period of time, we had so many adventures and shared so many laughs. You were my fellow bookworm, Tudor history enthusiast, and op shop lucky charm. But above all that, you were my friend and a second mother to me. From the very first moment I stepped foot into your Mulgrave home, 16 years old, anxious to make a good impression and bearing a homemade vanilla slice that unfortunately had not set in time for dessert. I'm glad I've had the chance to redeem myself in the cooking department since that day. Serena, I want to pay tribute to you today by thanking you for enriching my life with your presence, your kindness and your humour. Thank you for welcoming me into your family from that very first day, over-complimenting my oozy vanilla slice, referring to me over the years as a second daughter, and even saying you would gladly go out with me instead if Chris and I ever broke up. Never any chance of that happening, I'm afraid. You did too good of a job raising him to be the most thoughtful, clever, and loving man I am proud to call my own. Thank you for our long walks and talks, special opportunities for us to debrief about life, craft projects, and books to the point where we once got lost in Bermagui and you joked that we would end up on the 6 o'clock news. Thank you for your unwavering support. Thanks. Thank you for your unwavering support during the challenging times of my life, for giving the warmest hugs and always championing me to buy all the little trinkets and home decor items I like, despite Chris's feelings on the matter. Serena, I'm so blessed to have known you, and I don't know if I will ever truly heal from your loss. Beside you is the first book you ever lent me, The Other Boleyn Girl by Philippa Gregory. It inspired our shared love of history and all things Henry VIII. I hope it is a source of comfort to you wherever you are, and an enduring symbol of my love for you and the memories that we shared.
Thank you, Helen. As I mentioned earlier, everyone here has memories, and the most special memories are certainly in the front few rows here, so thank you for sharing that beautiful tribute. I now have the honour to share a couple of tributes on behalf of family members. I was handed one just earlier from Serena's cousin, who can't be here, from Teresa Kiernan. She's just written a short tribute, and it just simply says, "Our cousin in Melbourne, Serena. That's how my brother and I, who lived in Sydney, referred to her to our friends. We still have photos of us in Grandma's backyard and in front of Brighton Beach bathing boxes. I was 4. Later, at 7 or 8, Serena was 13 and bought magazines and lip gloss. When I went back to Sydney, I bought these magazines and told my friends about her, who were also very impressed. Grandma always began sentences with Serena and would advise what Serena had said or had done, or where she had went lately." Obviously, they were very, very proud and looked up to their cousin Serena. "We will miss you, Serena. Rest in peace." And as I said, that's from Teresa. So thank you, Teresa, for sending that tribute forward. I now have one to share. I believe I'm sharing on behalf of Nicola. Is that right? Yeah. This is from Joseph's wife, Nicola, and it says, "Dear Serena, Mum, I want to take this opportunity to thank you for welcoming me into this family. You immediately embraced me with love, kindness and friendship. Over the years, you've become a big part of my life as my second mum, being a shoulder to lean on and an ear to chew off. We bonded quickly over our shared love of crafting and op-shop bargains. I look back at our op-shop trips fondly, particularly our girls' day collecting wine glasses for my bar cart. You inspired me to be more creative and sparked my interest in scrapbooking. My most special project will always be the scrapbook of Joseph and I's wedding photos that we made for you while you were in hospital. I will always think of you every time I start or finish a project. You raised a kind, generous and beautiful son. He is the light of my life, and I am so lucky to call him my husband and best friend. For that, I say thank you. I hope that we have a long, great love like you and Paul. I will never forget the love that we had for each other. I know you will be watching over us for every milestone, achievement and birthday, cheering us on, reminding us how proud you are of us and how much you love us. Thank you for being the best mother-in-law a girl could ask for. Rest easy." Thank you, Nicola. And I now have one from Alan. For Mum. There will be a lifetime of things I wish I can say to you, and not knowing you are only a phone call away is difficult. In saying that, the last week has been a time of reflecting on all the things you have given me. I think the best thing you have given me is just you. As a child, you were my whole world, and as I've grown, you have become my home. A woman who makes me feel safe, loved, special and strong. I've tried to come up with a favourite memory, but how can there be just one? The truth is that all of our times together have been important in their own way. Being the only woman in a house full of men gave us a close connection. We made girly days and nights where we would just share things the boys didn't quite understand. This has continued into my adulthood with our endless meandering phone calls. I think the loss of these will be maybe the things that hurt the most, and will be the memory I will hold the most dearest. You and I have always been very close, but losing you has brought me a lot closer to Dad. I thank you for this gift also. We have both opened up and shared ourselves in ways that we haven't before. I know you would be smiling about how similar we are. Dad won't ever be able to justify an expense purchase that I was definitely going to buy anyway, like you could, but we both know I'll always still buy the handbag. While the last few years have been long and challenging, it is also when your true courage and kindness has shone through. You have shown strength, hope and humour in the face of darkness, and still had the space for the love and compassion to show to others. The people here today and the people online watching are testament to the woman that you are. The last few weeks you told me how proud and happy you were to see us kids all settled and making our way into the world, and I know it will give you peace knowing we will be okay. And in time we will be, but not today. With love always, Alan. Some very special heartfelt tributes today from Serena's family, and fittingly the last tribute to share today is from Paul. And I'm going to ask Chris to come forward and share it on behalf of his dad.
It is with tears in my eyes and a broken heart that I write this message for my beautiful wife, my best friend and my soulmate. We have been through a lot of good times, hard times, but we've always come out at the end together. The relationship between us was and still is unbreakable. We built a beautiful family that you can be very proud of. The ethics and morals that the children have grown up with and now have is a credit to you. He always took pride in himself, the family, and anything you did. I'm unable to put my love for you into words. I will miss you so much, and life will never be the same without you here. We will be together again. I know you will be there with open arms. This is not a goodbye, but I will see you in the future. Good night, sweet pea. I love you and sweet dreams. I will see you soon. You are my Paul. You are my world. Love, Paul.
Thanks, Chris. I know that Paul did intend to get up, but it's just a tough day today for all. So those beautiful family tributes, I think, really create that picture of how loved Serena was by you all. I know everyone here has their own special memories, and a lovely way to continue sharing those memories, especially with her family, is to join them when we do conclude today. We will be leaving the Lakes Golf Club to walk outside and bid Serena farewell, and then you are warmly invited to remain behind here for refreshments and a celebration of her life, because ultimately, as sad as today is, I know her family really want to celebrate her life, and keeping in mind that 60th birthday that she didn't get to celebrate, it would be lovely if you were able to stay behind and share those memories and stories and celebrations. So a warm invitation for you all there. Now, a really beautiful way to enjoy or to look back on someone's life is through photos, and Serena's family have chosen some very special photos and some very special songs to play. So please enjoy this trip down memory lane of Serena's life.
Well, I started out down a dirty road. Started out all alone, and the sun went down as I crossed the hill, and the town lit up. The world gets still. I'm learning to fly, but I ain't got wings. Coming down is the hardest thing. Well, the good old days may not return, and the rocks might melt, and the seed may burn. I'm learning to fly, but I ain't got wings. Coming down is the hardest thing. Some say life will beat you down and break your heart, steal your crown. So it started out for God knows where. I guess I'll know when I get there. I'm learning to fly around the clouds, but what goes up must come down. The hardest thing. I'm learning to fly around the clouds, but what goes up must come down. I'm learning to fly. I'm learning to fly. She's a good girl, loves her mama, loves Jesus, in America too. She's a good girl, is crazy about Elvis, loves horses, and her boyfriend too. It's a long day living in Reseda. There's a freeway running through the yard, and I'm a bad boy, 'cause I don't even miss her. I'm a bad boy for breaking her heart. And I'm free, free falling. Yeah, I'm free, free falling. Now the vampires walking through the valley move west down Ventura Boulevard, and all the bad boys are standing in the shadows, and the good girls are home with broken hearts. I'm free, I'm free falling. Yeah, I'm free, free falling. I wanna glide down over Mulholland. I wanna write her name in the sky. I'm gonna free fall out into nothing. Gonna leave this world for a while. And I'm free, falling, free falling, free falling, falling, free falling. Yeah, I'm free, falling, free falling, free falling, falling, free falling.
Some beautiful memories there. She certainly fit a lot into her 60 years, and some, great photos to reflect on her happy life. Well, today has been a reminder of how short life really is and how we are all simply just passing through. There's no question that Serena has left us too soon, but we can't live our lives thinking about all the things that might have been. It's important that today we remember the moments that made Serena happy, and in time I hope these things will help you all smile again. In the spirit of honouring her memory, let us commit to carrying forward the values that Serena embodied. May we find inspiration in the way she lived her life with kindness, generosity and grace, and may her spirit live on in the stories we share and the love that continues to connect us. Serena was determined in everything she did, and if there was anything she would want us to take from this service, it would be to cherish life and don't sweat the small stuff. Serena was a positive person and she looked for the best in any situation, and as hard as it will be, she would want us to try and do the same. Her life was full, she was loved by many, and her legacy will live on in proud generations to come. Well, before we conclude, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you all again for being here and for the love and support that has been shown to her family at this difficult time. The memory of family and friends who have been there and will continue to be there in support is giving them all great comfort. It takes a village to care for a loved one who is dying, and Paul and his family would like to extend a very special thank you to the Gippsland Lakes Community Health Palliative Care team, in particular to Kathy, Sarah and Pam. Their support and care of Serena and the whole family was nothing short of amazing. Please take this as a personal thank you. They appreciate it more than words can say. Well, to Serena's family, I say it will be the little things that you will remember, the quiet moments, the smiles and the laughter. Although it seems impossible right now, it will be the memory of these little things that will help push away the pain and bring the smiles back again. May those beautiful yesterdays always remain in your heart, and may your sorrows gently fade away. May words of comfort rest gently upon your heart, and so, in time, may they become words of healing, and may it help you all in some way to know how much Serena was loved. Well, thank you, Serena, for every lesson, every memory, and every moment. May your journey be peaceful as you rest in the comfort of our memories and the love you have left behind. You were an angel on earth, and your memory will be your family's greatest treasure to have and to hold in their hearts forever. Thank you.
Years from now, I want you years from now, and I'll hold you years from now, as I love you tonight. You are my one true friend, always my one true friend. And I love you till I say, as I love you tonight. I know this world that we live in can be hard now and then, and it will be again. Many times we've been down. Still love has kept us together. The flame never dies. When I look in your eyes, the future I see. Wanting you years from now, and holding you years from now, and loving you years from now, as I love you tonight. And it will be again. Many times we've been down. Still love has kept us together. The flame never dies. When I look in your eyes, the future I see. Wanting you years from now, holding you years from now, and loving you years from now, as I love you tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, please come forward a little closer so that people can come out. Thank you. Come on. Would you like one, Dad?